Hello ladies, how are you? We are here for our third class this week. The name of this class is Essentials. So what does that mean? It means that we are going to see the most important grammar points, and there will be exercises for you on your PDF file to really practice a little bit of grammar because it's necessary. So on the first two classes this week, we were talking about us, likes and dislikes, hobbies, and good and bad habits. And to form these sentences, we had to use some structures. So today I'm going to show you what were these structures and give you more ideas with this vocabulary and grammar to make your sentences better. Okay? And then you're going to be ready for tomorrow when we have our live class. So take a look at my screen right now. You will see there on your screen. All right, so here's my screen for you. The first idea today is to talk about the simple present. We have already talked about it last class because we saw the verb to be. Last essentials class. Last week. And I introduced to you the verb to be in the simple present. So here we are talking about free time activities. So we have to use simple present because we are talking about routine, facts, things that we like, that we don't like, that we do every day. So we use simple present, but not only with the verb to be, with all the other verbs, work, travel, sleep, wake up, all the verbs. So take a look at my screen and I have here some examples. I will read it for you. So I listen to music, simple present. You can add the frequency here. I listen to music every day. I listen to music on my computer or on my cell phone. You can add details or complements or frequency, adverbs, that I will talk about it in a minute. Another one, you watch TV. And then it comes something different, right? The S to conjugate he, she, and it. So she dances. He reads a book. The dog, as the example, it barks. Quer latir. And then it goes back to normal. You go to the mall. The verbs are normal, right? You go. You don't add anything. We write notes. They learn something new, considering all the vocabulary we learned during these first 2 days. So there are a few examples here in the affirmative form, and I will give you more examples now. Let's create it. I play with my dog. And you can use the same verb if you want and just change the subject, o sujeito. You play with your, change the pronoun to, your dog. And then it comes he, she, it. So he plays with his dog. She plays with her dog. E aí o cachorro vai brincar com ele mesmo. It plays with other dogs. And then the others, again, back to normal. You play with your dog, but now in the plural, vocês. And then we play with our dogs. And we're more in the plural, they. They play with their dogs. So this is nice because you could see the pronouns too, right? My, your, his, her, or, and their. One more information for you. So this is very simple, and on he, she, it, you just add s. But it's not like this for all the verbs. So take a look. The second one here, the second slide has the rules, the basic rules, that you can add s, es, or IES. What does that mean? Look, when we add ES, the verbs finish in CH, SH, TH, SS, X, or Z. And also O, like go, goes. So she watches Netflix on the weekend. Pretty simple. It ends in CH and we add ES, watches. One more rule. The rule with IES. We add IES when the verbs finish with a consonant followed by the letter Y. So she, the verb is try, T-R-Y, but when we say he, she, or it, we have to change it and say she tries her best to be a better person. We change here the verb tries. And then maybe you are thinking, oh, why didn't you change here? She plays. Because it's not a consonant before the Y. It's a vowel, look. A-Y. So we don't change. We just add S. It's different from the rule. So now you have all the rules. S, ES, and IES. For he, she, and it. For the others, forget it. Just use the verb. I work, you work, they work, and nothing changes. In the affirmative form, let's see other forms. We have two verbs that are a little different, and however, there are two common verbs that don't follow these rules. They don't. The verb to have and the verb to be. Verb to be, we talked about it last week. And the verb to have, I can say, I have a car, but she has a car. So it's not on the rule. You change it completely. Have to has. All right? Now here we are. We are going to talk about using do or does as auxiliaries. So for I, you, we, and they, we use do. For he, she, and it, we use does to ask questions. I will create examples for you in a minute. I would like you to see this one too. We have don't and doesn't as well. So we use don't with I, you, we, and they, and doesn't with he, she, and it. All right, let's take a look at the examples. So here, everything was in the affirmative form. Let's go to the negative form and create other sentences. This time we have to use don't and doesn't. So I don't swim very well. Right? Eu não nado muito bem. Routine, maybe it's my hobby, something that I do in my free time. I don't swim very well, but I swim. And then we can say you don't have a new car. So maybe this person has an old car. So you don't have a new car. And then again, the different ones. He doesn't play video game on his free time. So he doesn't play video game, he plays other things. And she doesn't work on the weekends. So she likes to relax. She doesn't work on the weekends. And the dog or the object or idea or concept, it doesn't bark a lot. Cachorrinho de novo, bark, latir. It doesn't bark a lot. So now you have don't in two of them and doesn't in three. Let's continue. We have the plural now. You don't. Subir mais para vocês. Oops. You don't study on Saturday. You don't study on Saturday. Vocês não estudam no sábado. And then we have we. We don't like to write. Maybe they like to read, to take photos, but they don't like to write. We don't run at the park. Interrogative forms. Remember, do or does. So let's ask questions. Do you like to dance? You can answer, yes, I do. Or, no, I don't. Short answers and the question. One more with do. Oh, it's a little crazy to ask questions for yourself, but it's possible. So, do I play sports? Asking myself, do I play sports? It's possible. And then let's use does. Does he answer emails? Ele responde e-mails. Yes, he does. Or no, he doesn't. And then we can use for she. Does she like to go to the theater? Ela gosta de ir no teatro? Yes, she does. Or no, she doesn't. The dog again, does it bark? A lot. O cachorrinho late muito? Yes, it does. Or no, it doesn't. And to finish, we have the plural forms. Do you again, but now it's vocês. Do you study on Saturday mornings? Or do we cook on Sundays? And then do they learn fast? Vocês estudam nos sábados de manhã? Nós cozinhamos aos domingos? And do they learn fast? Eles ou elas aprendem rápido? And then you can continue. There is one more thing I would like to say here. We can talk about frequency using adverbs or not. You can say, I like to study in the morning. In the morning, it's some kind of frequency. Or I study every day. Frequency. Or you can say the time. I study from 8 to 10 a.m. every day. More frequency, more details for your sentence. And again, here we have frequency. How to ask the question about frequency. How often? Com que frequência? How often do you exercise? How often do you study English? And then you change it to does as well. How often does she drive her car? How often does she go to the beach? So these questions, how often, you can put in front of the do you or does she, does he, to create the question about frequency and to understand how often someone does an activity. And then, besides saying in the morning, every week, from 8 to 5 as frequency, you can use this, adverbs. Adverbs of frequency. I added here a percentage for you to understand better when to use each one. So always, it means sempre, so it's 100% of the time. Usually, you can translate it as geralmente, and it's 80% of your time. Often, the translation could be com frequência or frequentemente, 70% of your time. Sometimes it's in the middle, às vezes, 50%. And then we go to the negative ones. Rarely, raramente, 30%. hardly ever. 15% because it is dificilmente. And then never, 0, nunca, 0%. All right, let's add this to some sentences here. So, frequency. Frequency. Ask the question, how often do you exercise? Remember the quiz? The quiz from last class? There were a few questions using how often. So, how often do you exercise? I always exercise. Look at the position of the adverb. I, the subject, always, the adverb is in the middle, and then the verb, exercise. It's usually like that. The position of the adverbs are in the middle, between the subject and the verb. So, what if you don't go to the gym? You don't exercise. You can say, I never exercise. See the position? What about, I'm going to change the position a little to show you something. How often are you late? So this is connected to the verb to be, right? Are you late? How often are you late? When we have the verb to be or modal verbs like would, could, should, we will get there. You don't separate. You say, I am always late. Eu estou sempre atrasada. So you don't separate. I'm always, and then the verb, or here it's not a verb, it's a noun, late. All right? You can do that too. So, on this class, there will be some exercises on your PDF file, around 5, to use grammar, to put the adverbs in the correct position, because it's something that we here in Brazil, us, we usually make mistakes with these positions. And I would like to tell you about sometimes. So, how often do you watch? Vou colocar she. How often does she watch Netflix? We can answer she watches Netflix sometimes. Look, sometimes is beautiful. You can put in the end. Or you can do like this. Sometimes she watches Netflix. Or in the middle too. She sometimes watches Netflix. So this is beautiful, huh? It goes anywhere. Amazing. All right. So now I believe you are ready to go to your PDF file and do those 5 exercises. And I see you tomorrow ready with all your questions to ask me on our live class. I hope you enjoyed this class and you can do the exercises, check your answers, and ask me everything tomorrow. All right? I will be there waiting for you. Thank you so much for being here on your second week. So that's it. Thank you so much. Bye for now.